You go back.
Yeah.
And I need to find my other phone. What's good, squad? I forgot I gotta put music on in the background just to keep some sounds going. It's good to have some gentle music playing in the background. Type shit just to draw me in. You feel me? Meanwhile, that you want to take a shot? That's fine. Okay, dokie. Like a little evening. Kettle me this, kettle me that. Excuse me. C'est toi. J'ai tombé sur YouTube. Million.
We still on a train. Is there any here?
It is time for the collective as a whole. Gather our loins, get ourselves together. And as an abroad, not abroad, but as a whole, to be great, not be afraid to be great. For fear is not the recollection of our greatest memories, but to put ourselves asunder is such a fault. Yet continuously we push ourselves towards the bridge of mediocrity, willing to go over the edge, yet not willing to go over the edge of excellence. That bridge, golden and trivial as such, we look upon as something unreachable, as if our steps towards destiny have no meaning, no theory, or no ideology could make sense. What the fuck we're talking about? So again, I ask myself, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? The world may never know. Meanwhile, I'm gonna grab some ice. My motherfuckers think about that. And what's crazy is, it's even crazier is sometimes we say things without even realizing how untrivial the things we say are. But due to the trivialness of societal basis, shit just don't make sense. Some shit look gay as fuck on paper, but in real life, there's no Diddy. Man. Meanwhile, ain't nothing like a good afternoon with just a nice ice cold drink and a space to think with good people. Sexy thick. How you doing, love? It's a blessing to see you. And it's good Thursday afternoon. We are just sitting here talking. I am about to wet my whistle with some aged agave. I reckon it's been aged for some years, over a decade. you know. Yeah, I love this new AI summary where the AI summarizes what we're talking about. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate the heartbeat. Meanwhile, the AI summarized me and shared thoughts on reaching excellence and avoiding mediocrity. I'd like to share my goals. My goal is to one day have a platform where I can express my thoughts and be myself without Big Brother watching over me so much. Hey, love, I miss you too, sweetheart. She says she miss us.
We miss you too.
Well, my son is getting his hair twisted up right now. Actually, I think I should be able to show you real quick. Let me see if I can flippity flip. Jaboom, you can see him getting twisted right there. Yeah, that's my boy. He getting his head twisted up real quick. Mom Dukes be taking care of us over here. Won't be tripping, you know. We just be vibing. Just be vibing. But salute to everyone. Salute to you, my sister. And yeah. You all right? Choke was kind of heavy. So yeah, I appreciate the heart, me. Thank you for the love. I'll be thinking to you. Yeah, so as I was saying, it's ironic that most of the time when we get to that bridge and we decide whether or not we want to actually cross the bridge or stay in the mediocrity, you know. And sometimes we can see that bridge with just a look, you know, just a glance, you know, when someone sees the opportunity to seize that opportunity, but instead of seizing the opportunity, they break themselves into this mindset of, no, I cannot be excellent but mediocre. But why? When you have perfect opportunity, you know, good opportunity, great. We sit and we wait on the return of the great to see whether or not they'll take that opportunity. Meanwhile, the fig tree had an opportunity to feed Christ. He saw him coming, knew he was hungry, but the fig tree decided that day he was not bearing fruit. I think in my head sometimes, I don't think that fig tree was around too long to see the next season. How many times have we been to fig tree? No. The mediocrity of life is not to be understood, but experienced. And that's the only way you can reach excellence. Because how are you gonna know excellence without experiencing mediocrity? I just be trying to figure it out. I don't know. So, I guess I'll drink to that. Meanwhile, the bridges of life can differentiate. Whether or not we look at it that way, it is as such. The same as to be today is the same as to be tomorrow. Just different time. We feel what we want and we walk towards our words. It's just a different day. Doesn't change the energy because the energy never dies. But we choose what energy we carry. So I just decided one day I want to carry light of positive energy. Hey, how you doing, Nancy? Pleasure meeting you. This positive energy is a thing that we don't see often here. We know it's notably, but we don't see it. Because we often focus on the negative. Why? Because the negative is part of the electrification system, or electrons are the negative energy. And the negative energy, unfortunately, is where your jewels and your work comes from. Negative energy. So it's measured by the negative energy. The movement of electrons is the ideology of energy. So what the fuck are we talking about here? I'm just trying to figure it out. So negative. You can't be light without being negative. I think that's some shit.
Can't be negative without having some life.
And that's all I'm saying. Because the electrons are the measurement. And the electrons is a negated symbol. The positive is the protons. And the energy of an atom isn't measured by its protons, it's measured by its electron cloud. So it's measured by its capacity of negative energy. So when you look at why hydrogen is number one on the weighted scale, it's because it's full of negative energy. Ain't that some shit? So then you get to thinking, well, why is it that when you put two hydrogen with this for oxygen, how is it that they molecules become something different? But it definitely is going to take about 4 of those oxygen molecules to mix with 2 of those hydrogen molecules.
I agree.
Each of them sharing 2 negative spaces in their electron cloud. And now you got something that gives life. I'll drink to that. Not only does it give life, but it holds memory. Not only does it hold memory, but it transits energy. Ain't that some shit? But what the fuck are we talking about? I guess maybe that's the reason why Christ had to get baptized. He had to remember where the energy came from. What energy? Not the positive, the negative. Because without the negative energy, there could be no connection to the opposite powers of positive energy. What the fuck you talking about? Oh, I tell you what, try to take 2 positive sides of a magnet and put it together and see what the fuck happens. Ain't gonna work. You gotta take the negative side and put it closer to the positive for it to even get in the same energy field. So taste the negative side to attract the positive. Close the circuit. Ain't that some shit? The positives can't close the circuit. Sometimes I think best. I think Eddie Murphy might have said it best. There is a thing called necessary evil. How you doing, Nacho Flaco? For sure, for sure. I can't wait to see you. There's a return of a prodigal. Meanwhile, we're talking about memory, energy, in this thing called water. And how the fuck does water exist in a playing field that's supposed to be a positive energy? But all we talk about is positive, more than negative. Because if you're negative, that's wrong as fuck. You away with all of your duality. Get rid of your negative side. Don't embrace it. That should be a dead part of you. But if that dies,
So do you?
so do you. Instead, why don't you share that negative space with someone who has that negative space of entrapment so that you can create a positive bond? Now you have water. Once you get 3 or 4 gathered, their water will be also. It goes back to the Trinity. And see, they talk about how in the Trinity, you've got 1 and 1 equals 1. But there's 3. And how the fuck are there 3 but they're 1? Well, but let's go back to the physics. If I take 1 hydrogen atom, it's missing 2 electrons out of its last electron cloud. If I take 2 oxygen atoms, they're both missing 1 electron out of their. No, they have 1 extra electron in their electron cloud. And it needs a pair so that it can have a positive bond. And so, what it does is it says, hey, you need a positive bond. Yeah, girl, I need a positive bond. Well, shit, I need one too. And then they find that this hydrogen is just looking, that Y, the Y, yeah, that fucking Y, is just looking for something to fill these spaces with negative energy. And all of a sudden, they realize the key to the game is covalent bonding. Because when you feel the negative void, you replace it with positive energy. That positive energy resonates outside of your inner being. Then you become like water. The fuck are you talking about, huh? Well, I'm talking about genetics, and I'm also talking about science. But I'm also talking about relationships, and I'm also talking about life. But I'm simply telling you how water is made using atoms, covalent bonding, as well as the electron cloud. We're simply talking science. But it might not make sense to some. Just sip my goddamn drink. Could be talking about a hell of a lot more. But what the fuck are we talking about? Maybe AI can figure this one out. Because we were just talking about a whole lot of shit without saying much. I think I might make this a friends only. Meanwhile,
Stop talking like that.
Caprice is here. You guys should say hello to her. She's an awesome lady. Next time you see her, make sure you stop and wait. There's my baby right there. See that face? Don't forget it. Alright, so there you have it. The keys to the Trinity and I. Discussing how water is created through negative energy. I love this AI thing. That is hilarious. There you go, guys. Now you know how to be water. And not just hydrogen or oxygen. Meanwhile, that's just a dope ass subject to think about anyhow.
Mm.
Because if you think about it, in life, a lot of the times, yeah, because in life, a lot of the times we try to just destroy the negative, but in destroying the negative in a transitional verse, we're canceling out our opportunity to mature into our manifestation or to manifest that new body. You know what I'm saying? By new body, I mean spiritually, because
I
again,
know.
we're talking about water and hydrogen and oxygen, and how the oxygen and hydrogen become one. But you know we're dealing with the X and the Y. And so now we're dealing with two different objectives. How do we create water and how do we create life or energy, the force of energy? Because again, if you destroy everything negative about you, then you have no life left. Because even the atom has an electron cloud that's made out of energy, negative energy.
I need to take a hot break.
The positive energy is the
You want to
nucleus
stand up and move around for a second?
that holds everything together. Right? And we ain't even got into the positive and the neutron. We ain't talking about that. We're just talking about how the fact people want to destroy everything that they see about themselves, that they don't like about yourself. Like, if you don't like this about yourself, you don't have to destroy it. I'm not a handsome man, but I love myself. I'm an extravagant, young, handsome man to my own. But to the world, I'm a human. In my eyes, I might be something totally different. See, again, what the fuck am I talking about? Water, my God. I am a hydrogen atom. If I be a hydrogen atom, that means that majority of the time, I've got those two electron clouds, like that one space or another has a void that needs to be filled. Likewise, my oxygen, right? Without that oxygen, I'm depleted. I become air, a base, unseen. Unable to be captured only in certain pressurized fields. You know? I become dangerous to some. Life to others. Likewise. But oxygen brings life to all things, which is why we should praise the Y and the X. But the X gives life to all things. Notice what I just said. Hydrogen can be detrimental to a lot of things, and oxygen gives life to multiple things. Even though through oxidation it can be detrimental. But overall, such is the same with the X and the Y in genome and chronology, and genome and genealogy. When you're dealing with the X and the Y chromosome, it's the same concept. So we think on those terms and we be like, shoot, woo, 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 woo. But at the end of the day, what are we talking about? Water. How do you create water? Out of every situation, not negating what's negative to be negative, but an opportunity to find a positive bond with someone who understands that negative in you. And that's all it is. The reason why we can't find those covalent bonds is because we can't understand that we have to accept our negative and embrace the partner who understands that same concept. Meanwhile, again, the construct, in order to get to water with one oxygen molecule, you're still halfway there. That's all I'm saying. Until you learn how to balance the scale on a 3-part, you'll never reach the trinity where you become one and become water. And life can be given. Because it takes a community. You know? The old people used to say it takes a village. You know? It does. It takes an understanding between the village. Because the sharing of those spaces. You know? Because everybody's got baggage, but are you willing to unpack? Are you willing to share that space for what comes out the bag? There's a lot of things that water can emulate. But Bruce Lee said it best. Unless we be like water, we no longer exist. Because we can't fill a void unless we become fluid. So the body is a shell, just a void in itself. So you have to be like water, or your body is useless. And you will fight with your body for the rest of your life. And wonder, why is it fighting back? Because you haven't learned to accept your positive and negative charges. The duality. Shadow work was important because I had to notice my dualities, positive and the negative. Because there's a light spectrum. You got light and you got dark energy, regardless. You understand why it has to get dark. Sometimes it has to get dark so that you can appreciate the light a little more. You know? But all things have their due time, their season. Meanwhile, thank you, Jenny. Hey, how you doing, love? Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you, Nacho. Thank you for Jenny. Thank you all for coming in. Right now, we're just talking about life. It was interesting how we ended up talking about life because, again, what are we talking about? What was we talking about? Necessary evil? Or was it just a necessity to accept that some things just happen? You can't go back and change what has happened, but you can change how you react to your future. So we do what we can to adapt to the situations of life. I'm doing well. Meanwhile, when in life, you're looking for that opportunity to make a change. Don't be afraid to step out of the comfort zone. Sometimes that be like exposing yourself. I love AI explanation. It said explain the duality like water and oxygen. Exactly. Share your perspectives on the topic. I'd love to hear it. Because that's exactly what we're talking about, the duality of life. And so when you have that opportunity to make the change, you gotta be able to overcome the fear. You know, the fear to accept that I have this open space, this vulnerability of myself. Because our thing is we like to build up walls heavy, strong, and high. We like to build them Donald Trump walls. And then next thing you know, push everybody away from us. And the love that's given, we don't accept. You know, enter this place of desperation and despair. In that thought process, we find ourselves, see ourselves, and we're like, damn, fucked up person. This is me. And I accept myself as a fucked up person. After you do that, now you have an opportunity to change that fucked up person. But you first got to accept it. And again, if you're going to operate into the next level of life, then it's going to take a covalent bond of some sort. It don't always have to be the way you think. Because a lot of people be like, well, what you talking about having babies? I can't have no babies. Okay, cool. We ain't talking about having babies. Okay? We're just talking about maturation and manifestation. It's hard to manifest with somebody that cannot understand your duality. You can't have a business partner that don't understand your duality. Some business partners will sit you down and put you to certain tests to see whether or not you're going to fold under pressures. Why? Because they need to know your duality. They need to know your weaknesses and your strong points. And if they can't hang with you when you're weak, they can't be around you when you're strong either. The part of your nature is a way of duality. It's part of your nature to accept it. Not every bond is a good bond. Again, hydrogen can mix with many things because it has those open negative spaces. But does that mean it needs to? Right? I can mix it with sodium. And now I got sodium hydroxide. Is that a good bond? Could be. Could be caustic. Point is, you gotta be careful who you let in your circle. I'd rather have 2 oxygen than that sodium. That sodium got a whole lot of negative energy, buddy. It's coming and it's packed with a whole lot of negative cloud behind it. So you gotta look at your weighted scale. Again, we need some way of formulating thoughts and ideas to where we can conjure our minds to see the people as the periodic table would describe them. And understand that. That'll help you understand where your mind point be. Because niggas be on your top, buddy. On your top. Ain't no napkins. Here you go. There goes some napkins.
You need some napkins?
Meanwhile, so the ironic part of it is self-destruction can come from the ones who are overzealously, innately in love with that negated side of themselves. I sure hate when, thought processes get to the point to where they have an overture to everything else And it's like peak point. We're here. Mind blow. Now we're over the top. And it should be just too far gone, player. So you have to find balance. It's better to have two oxygen than a oxygen and a sodium. Because now you're toxic, player. So you gotta make sure you balance very well. Share negative spaces with somebody that's balanced enough to understand their space. You did. And I know some people be like, well, I prefer two hydrogen. Well, go ahead. That's how the atom bomb was created. Shit's explosive. So have fun with that. I prefer my oxygen. You know what I'm saying? I put that out there for a reason. Just putting it out there. We're talking about science, but what the fuck are we talking about? Meanwhile, some people like two hydrogen. Hell, some people just like two oxygen. I wouldn't mind two oxygen because just two oxygen alone is decent enough. But when you got two hydrogen, that's a lot of destructive power on the positive side. It's way too positive. Okay? You don't have a balanced scale there, so you have to have at least 4 oxygen to balance that. Right? Let's just keep it science. Meanwhile, you still gotta go back to the why. There's a reason why the why is there. Because 2 X's are accessible. But they definitely can't make the Y. So you need that hydrogen atom in order for the oxygen to bond covalently and safely to create the water. Life passage comes through water. And the electrical molecules that pass through the water bond the atoms that are within the water that create life. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I'm talking about how babies are made. I'm talking about how life is created. Because again, even the scriptures say he looked upon the face of the waters and it was nothing but energy delved, whether it be from our vocal cords, from the vocal box, or whether it be from us tapping on these computer keys or tapping on the phones, or whether or not it's from us sticking something into an electrical socket, or whether it be from us taking, a couple of lead and copper and, aluminum and running on a river and collecting the energy into this lead, copper, and aluminum and transversing it across these lines and giving us some more energy across the networks that we've created across abroad. I mean, if it's that way, then cool, but we just talking science. Either way, the energy is being spread, but where is it being led to? That's the question. But what the fuck are we talking about? We're just talking about life. The X, the Y, not the Z. Meanwhile, now we done got to where water is a little bit more sophisticated. They like to put an extra third oxygen to it. How is this possible? Okay? How is it possible? Definitely not natural. An unstable connection of covalent bonding, but they find a way to bond it covalently with 4 oxygens instead. Ain't that something? Sort of like a baby after meiosis. You know, when it splits in two and then splits into four. But that's neither here or there. We just talking about science. Either way, starts from the negative energy, that is electrical pulses of energy streaming from the consciousness of the man when he decides this is the premium moment that I can create and send spinal fluids down his spine through his urethra, and that electrical energy is charged into that seminal fluid, and it somehow or another electrifies this dormant section of her abdomen that has awaiting inside of this embryonic sac a seed of life, just waiting for an electrical energy to charge it. Thus, the negative energy creates life. Ain't that some shit? So I guess Karl Marx might have been right when Karl Marx said that everything is there for more, even life itself. There's some shit to think about. Chaos is the creation of life? Then I guess that means to negate life is the end of chaos. Or is it finding the balance of that negated energy, giving you a metamorphosis into a different form of life, a spectral of life that is attainable, that gives you so many unlimited possibilities? Because you see, hydrogen itself is a gas, so is oxygen. Cannot be liquefied at all, cannot be solidified at all. But I'll be damned if they ever work together. They become solid water and gas. Now ain't that about a bitch? So we're a hell of a lot stronger together than apart. But the dissension in our minds is that everything has to be in a positive mind state. Correct, it is the bang, not the big one, the small one. But it don't always have to be positive. Sometimes you need a little shook up. Yeah, it's called replacing that negative energy with a positive mind state.
What this mean? Like, I was supposed to do taxes? Right.
Yes, sir, ski. Yep, you need to file that EIN on TurboTax, my guy. Teaching the young guy about business and structure and shit. Meanwhile, you don't really have to learn shit nowadays because they really teach all this shit on the talkie talk type shit. You know, they call it the bang theory. But when you look at the difference between oxygen and you look at the difference between hydrogen, you see hydrogen is always going to be heavier than oxygen. But when oxygen works together with another oxygen, they find stability. When it takes 4 oxygen to find that equate stability, to break that chain and find the metamorphosis. When you find the metamorphosis, you get water. Other than that, you'll stay in this stage called air. right? Unseeable, untouchable, untangible, unseen. Well, for damn. But until you learn this thing called cooperation and balance, then you don't find unity and you continuously find chaos. Because you have to find the balance. And then you find the water. And the water is where you find life. Hopefully this has helped someone. Again, I'll probably post this for friends only. Because I said a lot without saying too much. Hope this helps you guys. Usually I'm just sitting here just chopping my choppers.
No, I ain't even going to the store yet.
But just felt like I share that with you guys. Because sometimes we harp on the negative. And we forget the positive. And then sometimes we harp on the positive and disregard the negative. I have a balance. Okay? Find your niche. Lay there. Stay there. Play there. Have fun there. But make sure you got a pair. Alright?
Check me out and shit. Yeah, work.
Make sure you have a pair. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Meanwhile, thank you for sticking in with me. Thank you for sticking in with me, you guys. Oh, let's see what we got going on out here. Let's see what we got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like out here.
Let me see how long I've been on here, you guys. I'm gonna be on here for probably about another 30 to 40 minutes. Then I'm gonna get up. I don't know, 20 minutes maybe. Another 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes.
Huh? Send it to me. Where is it?
You finna go outside.
Go outside.
Right, no, alright. I'm finna get the car.
Yeah. It's wet in this bag.
Yeah, that's because it's me.
Oh. Okay. Just want to make sure you can.
Y'all can get 26 on this speed, especially the one.
Yep.
That's fucked up after you just bought a charger.
Shit be like that sometimes, my God. When it's time you lose something.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, that's Jay.
Well, this shit getting long.
Don't look like him, dude. Shit be like that sometimes, my boy. What is it? up.
Chico! Chico! Huh? This, this sharing.
It's real fast.
Yeah. You very behind Nike. And the stuff.
Sharing thoughts on chaos, balance, and the creation of life. I like that. Hey guys, I'm gonna be trying to dissect what the fuck we talking about. Meanwhile, I wonder if we can dissect when we get to talking about spell work and shit like that. You know? We were talking about energy and negative energy and how energy transcends and it continues to transcend through particle transferable. Right? For every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. So, in other words, for every negative insertion, the ripple effect continues and domino effect continues. So, that's the power of the curse. The curse doesn't break until you decide to break it, which is why a lot of people don't understand curses and they're like, well, so such put a curse on. Well, it's up to you to really break it. The moment you stop giving it power, the moment it'll stop. You just gotta stop the negative energy. What made the curse come about? Well, you had a negative intention, and your intentions were not good towards a certain someone or something. And then something came about because of your negative intentions, and those negative intentions transcend into actions that continually happen within your space of existence. And so that negative energy, some people call karma, but reality is our electronic cloud that exists around us because we, like the atoms, have these clouds around us of energy. And these energy spaces, they really are fields of energy that react to things around us. And so when you do something wrong, your energy space becomes filled with this energy. And it can become volatile. And so the easiest way to break a contract that you don't align with or something somebody put on you, hey Nix, welcome in, is to stop doing negative intentional shit. Once you put your intentions towards something good and start doing good shit, you will break the negative intention that's trying to hang on to you. So that's how we quell the spells that lay upon us. Meanwhile, on another note, our words have to match where we want to go in life. So, we will what we want, we walk towards our words. So we say a lot of shit, but, are we aligning the purpose with where you are trying to go? Is what you're saying what you're doing, and what you're doing what you're saying. That's what we be trying to figure out. That's it. No big thing. I appreciate everyone who came in tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wave that party favors their leaks. Meanwhile, this app gives me a headache after I be on here too long. I only spend like an hour. So after this hour, I'm gonna bid you guys adieu. And I think I've been talking for about an hour. Pretty sure kids got tired of hearing me talk about the science stuff. And the science stuff is some pretty amazing stuff if you actually pay attention to it. Because trust me, just a little hydrogen, or maybe even a little oxygen might light up your life. If you treat it right. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, you're not aligned, it's gonna definitely be a fight. Be like water. Be aligned. Be balanced. Be unified. Find nurture in the smallest of places in nature. And all will be well. Other than that, I love you guys and I wish you the best. And if you have not, make sure you go ahead and click my profile picture, download the book. Now, if you click my profile picture, just take a screenshot of it or use your camera. Focus in on it. There's a book there. Go follow my buddy Shattered Wells. Shattered Wells is a pretty awesome guy. Cool group. Good music. Live life abundantly and walk in ways of the wise. Okay? Anything you want to say, sweetheart?
She said enough.
Oh, okay. She said I said enough. So with that, I'm gonna leave y'all. Meanwhile, y'all know what time it is. About that time for me to say deuces. You know? But I still got 3 more minutes. I'm gonna leave y'all to it. See y'all next time. Man, AI is on one tonight. Meanwhile, thank you guys for being here. I enjoyed you guys. Talk to you later.